Here we go. Okay. The first one, I don't know what happened. It went down. So here we go. This is the second live stream. So let's go. Warning. This podcast contains graphic language. What's going on out there, MTOW? What's going on out there, Red Pill? What's going on out there, incels? What's going on out there in the manospheres? You are right here, KDR, aka Kim the Rican Podcast. One of the craziest podcasts out here in Cocktail. I'm right here in the Pacific Northwest, podcasting it up all across the world. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to the podcast. Here you go. Shotgun to the dome.
Headshot.
So no further ado, let's start with an intro for heaven's sake. Here we go, gentlemen.
Who's on this track, fam?
Because I respect Kim the Rican. I do. Oh, you simping for some pussy, bitches. I'm being simp all day. Fuck you. Oh, you simping for some pussy, bitches. I'm being simp all day. Fuck you. Because I respect Kim the Rican. I do.
Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to the shit show. Welcome to the shit show. I call it a shit show, for heaven's sake. You know, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a content creator, and I've been banned for my channel like 2 times already. So I'm gonna, for now, I'm gonna speak in codes. One of my 2 beef with Trump, right? Only 2. 2 out of 10 is not bad, all right? Not bad. But I do remember when, and you guys remember when the so-called Operation War Speed came about. I say to myself, fuck this shit. I'm not down with this shit. It was my first time voting for a Republican. I only voted like a few times in my life, right? And I say, fuck this motherfucker, fuck that shit. I'm not gonna do that shit. I'm not gonna get injected with this shit and stuff like that. So that, you know, and I saw videos when he was claiming and stuff like that during the campaign, this campaign that took place, and people boo his ass. Because he was like, oh, I created the vaccine, and people was like, boo! Boo, motherfucker! You know? It's true. So then after that, I was like, you know what? I ain't fucking around with nobody. Fuck this shit. I'm a libertarian, by the way. So I say, nah, fuck this shit. I'm not voting for nobody. I'll vote for my local issues out here. But for president, stuff like that. Well, people voted. They got the old senile man out there. I don't know how this country survived with this administration. I do not know. I do not comprehend. But I don't give a fuck. So that was one of my bad tastes in my mouth with Donald Trump, right? which I'm going to move here, is going to be very controversial for some people. But I do recollect on his first administration, he moved the embassy from out there in Israel to Jerusalem, and that was another red flag for me, right? It was. And the same 4 years that he did this, when he was president, Operation War Speed and moving the embassy to Jerusalem. Big flags, big flag for me. Horrible for me. It's like, fuck this shit. Now, I do understand the terminology. I do understand political issues when it comes down, and I'm going to say this in, I'm going to put it on codes, but you men know this stuff. The Z, and the J. Let's put it like that. Or you can reverse it and call it JZ. But you know the Z and the J, right? So, no one nowadays cannot criticize a government, especially when it comes down to Israel. You cannot criticize the government of Israel. And I'm going to be surprised if they don't shut this shit down as we speak. It's a government. Just like any government, like with any country, anything like that. The rule, the stuff like that. And people are allowed to criticize any particular country who committing different shit, like China, right? They commit different crimes and stuff like that. Of course, you have to report that shit to the world. Same thing with Saudi Arabia. Same thing with anything. The world have to know what the fuck is going on. For heaven's sake. The world has to know. We live in an information age. Russia, what Russia's doing out there to their own citizens, they have to, we got to criticize those governments and say, hey man, that's not cool. That's not cool what you're doing to your own people and shit like that. Supposed to be like that. But if you criticize the country of Israel, well, you are called all kinds of names and shit. To be honest. Anti this, anti that, this and that, and shit. Right? But I'm a student of history. I knew years, like at least 25 years ago, how the state of Israel was implemented and what year took place, and before that. I can go to the history, but they probably would call me anti this and anti that. But I know it's true story. Before World War II and after World War II. Okay? So let's put this in perspective. Let's not be naive. What's been taking place in Israel for the last 35 years? It's horrendous. It's horrendous what it done to the Palestinian or the East Jerusalem or Zaga and stuff like that. This stuff is not new. It's not new. How they blockade food and stuff like that. This shit is not new. This is not new. It's not new. This has been taking place for like decades, for God's sake. All right? This is not new. I'm going to give you an example. If I'm lying to you, gentlemen, I will not wake up in the morning with no breath and I can die. So I used to have this little live stream out there in Podbean. And I used to like here, right? But they hit the button and they can talk to me from different parts of the world, right? And it was this particular gentleman. He called me from, he hit the dial. He called me from East Jerusalem. And this is doing, I want to tell you the date because I talked to him like 3 times. And this is during the pandemic. During the pandemic, like 3-4 years ago. Right. So I'm on Podbean doing the live stream, taking calls and stuff like that and shit and talking stuff, right? So this particular gentleman from East Jerusalem, we became like contact with Telegram, right? He sent me a Telegram video, but I would get that before the video. So he called me like 3 times. I'm not gonna lie to you that we have multiple contacts. It was 3 times, but every time that he called me in those 3 times, it was live. He was live streaming and stuff like that, right? It was live, and he was like, "Yo, can the Rican, his own accent and stuff like that," and I can hear the background and stuff. I live in East Jerusalem, and I have to go 7 guarded gates and stuff like that. Can you please tell the Americans what we suffering and shit like that, right? And at the time I told him, I was like, dude, I'm only one man and I don't have a big audience, but I can hear you and I can understand it. And we had a dialogue. Our dialogue, it was very cool, right? And he's out there in East Jerusalem, a Palestinian. True story. True story. Doing the live stream for like an hour. And you can see the sounds and stuff like that and shit like that, right? The moving cards. He's talking to the officers of the gates and shit, right? Giving the ID and stuff. And then he told me on the live stream that I have to go through these every day. And I asked, what is it? How long is the mileage between your home on East Jerusalem to the other place, which is part of East Jerusalem? And he was like 4 miles, and they had to go to 6 gated, guarded. I forgot the terminology. And I was like, holy fuck, what the hell, right? I was like, dude, that's some fucked up shit. Now, this is East Jerusalem, which is, he told me, we have it better. And Gaza and stuff like that is worse out there. I never forget it. When you talk to a person, a man out there, living in that part, not only that, right? You can tell the sincerity on his voice and stuff. Not only that, on Telegram, he made a video for me. He's like, and he's not a MTOW, right? Because he probably did not know what MTOW. The whole thing is MTOW. I put the title MTOW. This and that. He was happening to just like call, make a phone call or whatever, and write comments and share live comments and stuff like that, and 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 yes, so he sent me like 2 videos of his house out there on Telegram, because I had a Telegram group called I made a group called the uh, MTOW something. I forgot the name of it. Yeah, MTOW Squad. Yeah, the MTOW Squad. And I made a group and stuff like that, and people can share videos and do whatever in a free platform and stuff like that. So he tagged me with a video where he live at, right? And it was like a very humble place, It kind of reminded me like a small house in Puerto Rico made out of concrete and stuff like that. You can hear the roosters and stuff like that and shit like that. But then I messaged him back, right? I was like, "Are you married?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm married. I got 2 children and stuff like that. And that's my house and stuff like that." And I was like, "Hey man, the house is pretty cool, And it was sunny. It was sunny out there in East Jerusalem and stuff like that. I was like, man, that is pretty cool. That's pretty cool what you got there." One of Maybe the universe will connect us again. Maybe. But that was one experience that I heard and saw just your average man out there. I know he's not a MTOW, but he's a married man and stuff like that. And he's Muslim and stuff like that. Living in that part of the world, because the internet is supposed to connect us together, right? And say, you know what you're doing to this is wrong. What you're doing to that is right, and so on and so forth, right? We have to be compassionate and understanding us as human, what takes place in the world. You cannot be naive and say, hey, there's some shit going on out there on the Middle East that I don't like, which I don't like. I do not like it at all. For like decades myself. Because I know the situation and I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to talk like, so I don't get, because nowadays out here we got the AI and stuff like that, right? And then you put a live stream, they're gonna try and fact check you and stuff like that, right? The topic and stuff like that and shit. It's all kinds of nonsense and bullshit going on. But that doesn't mean that I cannot criticize a country that I pay taxes for, right? And they have come up with a solution. Not only the solution, you don't want me to get started with a solution, with a J's. Because this is go way back. But it is a compromise. Right? And to be honest, I don't pay too much attention about this shit. I really don't. I'll figure it out. Let them figure it out, or let not figure it out. I don't spend that much time on it. It's been a crazy zone for centuries and shit. Millennials. But let's not be naive. Let's not be naive. Let's not cover the sun with a hand of what's going on out there in Israel. Let's be real. And that is one problem, another beef that I got with Trump. What he gonna do? I understand he's a big Z, right? I get it. But hey, man, come on. Let's not encourage this more behavior of killing children and doing days and boycotting days and not getting food and stuff like that. What they've been doing for this for many years and stuff like that. Trust me, I'm keeping my mouth shut because I know that the reality of things what's been going on out there, not for 1 decade, at least 2 decades. All right? And this is one thing that I have to give the libtards credit. This point. The libtard got one shit right. Between the state of the country of Israel and the Palestine. I was like, of all this fucking shit these libtards talk about and stuff like that, I have to give him one credit. It's this one, this topic right there. To be honest. You know, what took place on that day when the terrorists went out there, what is it, January, whatever the fuck it was, January 7th, 10th, whatever the fuck, it's irrelevant to me. Whatever took place out there. Right? I'm listening to a fucking podcast. Right? By a chick who served on the military Israeli border. And she said, back in the 1990s, we had infrared cameras. We can see a cat who's next to the fence. Back in, she said, it was year 2000. Year 2000. I remember this vividly. And I'm thinking to myself, thank you. Thank you. How this took place all of a sudden like this. One of the most heavy forgetted country in the fucking world. How this took place. Tell me. Because out there on a country of Israel, women, men, everybody got to serve. If you want equality, like these bitches want equality out here, go to Israel. You're gonna have a R16 or 9mm or something made in America, and you're gonna have to go out there and serve your first 2 years, which is great. I got to give that credit to the Israelis. They don't discriminate, except the Orthodox. The Orthodox, they got different paths out there. The Orthodox J, they got different paths, but the rest of them, you got to do out here and put the helmet and uniform, and you got to go out here and look for shit that there is no shit there. So that's one of my beef that I got with Trump. He's a big Z. He is a big Z. Let's be honest. He believes in this shit, which a lot of Christians, a lot of people believe in this shit. The secret land and shit. The land of the people chosen by God and stuff. Whatever. I don't have a dog in a fight. I don't have a horse in this race. All I'm doing, just pointing my view. That's it. Nothing more, nothing more, nothing less. Can they come out with, can he do some maneuvers and stuff like that and say, yo, BB out there, yo, BB, calm down with this shit. Can we settle this stuff down? BB, go out there, chill out. Can we do this? Can you stop this shit going on out here on this other side? Can you do that, please? There's a lot of children being killed and stuff like that. It's a lot of land grabbing for the last 2 decades. Can you chill out, have a compromise and stuff like that? You know, who knows? I don't know. I don't hold my breath. I don't know. I don't have one iota. No clue. But that is one of my beef with Trump. The rest, he's cool. You want to make America great again? Great. You want to make it great again? Great. Since you want to make America great again, can we stop funding different countries with our tax money? Whoever is sucking the leech, the life of the American citizens and hard work. Let's do that, please. You want to make America great again? Let's not fund none of this horse shit. Because we have a lot of problems out here in the United States. I don't know if you noticed, but I have. Can we stop funding NATO? Ukraine. Israel. Yes, Israel. I said stop funding Israel. Who else? Whoever's taking money from us, don't do it. Stop the funding. It's really easy. They're bloodsuckers. Who else take money from the taxpayer of all the country? You name it. There's so many of them that I cannot recall right now. to be honest. So, if you want to make America great again, excuse me, hold on, let me, I'm talking and I'm not drinking water. He wants to make America great again. Stop this fucking fundings of putting this money in different places and shit like that. And supporting country governments and stuff like that. Stop it. That's it. Then we can bring these resources and we can do great things out here. Right? That's the way I see this thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just one of the cuckoo's nests who escape. I don't know. I'm just one man trying to connect the dots and trying to have, so funny where they bring these common sense. Yeah, he running common sense. So let's make common sense. Let's be rational thinkers. So, since it's all common sense, let's stop giving out money to different countries and shit like that, and supporting all this stuff and nonsense. Let's cut down the taxes. Let's cut down whatever we gotta do and shit like that, and let's make sense of this nonsense. Let's make common sense of the nonsense that's been taking place for at least since 2016. After 2016, shit just went fucking crazy nuts. In my humble opinion. You guys remember? The Me Too movement started with these crazy leftist feminist maniacs. You remember that? Right? All these leftist groups out there and stuff. They use people went bananas, the mainstream media and all kinds of shit, propaganda and stuff like that. So let's make common sense. Riots. You know? Inflation. People can't afford shit anymore. So let's make common sense. Let's try. And let's not have a pass on common sense. Let's put it this way, gentlemen. It doesn't matter what fuck we funding, whatever the shit is out there, from Ukraine to NATO to Israel to this. Let's start making common sense and let's start making this money back out here and stuff like that, because we desperately need it. Let's stop the printing of money. Let's cut this fucking government down on the budget. You know? Promises is promises. Politicians, they're tricksters. And when it comes down to action, they fall like a house of cards, built in sand. Oh, they sure fucking do. Oh, they sure fucking do. Because they belong in a political party. It's two system. I get it. I understand. Trust me, I get it. I understand. It's two system, man. Two political system. You know, I did understand this notion at the age of 18 years old. And then I followed the pattern. I was like, okay, Republican, Reagan. And I was like a little kid, right? But and then it was Clinton. And then it was this. And I was like, oh, hold on. And then I looked back, and then I did this little research. It was Carter. And I was like, oh man, it's a uniparty. They elect each other every 8 years. I think the game is rigged. I knew this. I was like, at the age 18, I was like, holy shit. So there's no reason for me to vote. It's going to be 4 years or 8 years, and they're going to choose the opposite party. So what the fuck? It's a big party, and you're not invited. But you have to pay for the party. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a motherfucking bitch? It's a big party. You're not invited, but you pay for the party. Think about that shit. Well, gentlemen, like I always say, peace. Stay MTOW. I will catch you on this podcast, live stream, or video. Let the universe be with you.